Once upon a time there was a young wizard named Willy who was afraid of using magic. Willy came from a long line of powerful wizards, but ever since he was a little boy he had been terrified of his own magical abilities. Whenever Willy tried to cast even the simplest spell, he would get incredibly nervous and anxious. His hands would shake, his heart would race, and he just knew something catastrophic would happen if he let the magic flow through him. Poor Willy had trouble fitting in at the prestigious wizarding academy where he studied. All the other young wizards and witches would gleefully practice their spells, turning flowers different colors and making objects float through the air. They would laugh and play with their magic together after classes ended. Willy wanted to join in, but couldn't control his fear. He would shy away from the others and avoid practicing any magic at all. At night, alone in his room, Willy would take out his wand and stare at it. He wished he could unlock the power he could feel dwelling deep within him, but the fear held him back. Willy felt like something must be terribly wrong with him. Why was he the only wizard who was afraid of his own magic? As the years went by, Willy's peers progressed in their studies of the magical arts. They learned how to transform objects, brew powerful potions, and cast charms to protect themselves from danger. But Willy did not advance along with them. His spellbooks gathered dust on a shelf, and his wand remained unused. The other wizards were kind to Willy and tried to encourage him to practice even the simplest spells, but they didn't understand his strange fear. Willy became known as the wizard who was afraid of magic, and he felt more ashamed with each passing year. After graduating from the Wizarding Academy, Willy decided he had to get to the root of his strange phobia before it was too late. He traveled the land visiting healers, shamans, therapists, and the wisest witches and wizards he could find. Each had their own ideas about what caused Willy's fear of magic and how he could overcome it. One therapist thought it stemmed from an early childhood trauma Willy had blocked out. A healer believed it was a problem with his magical energy flow that could be balanced with the right crystals. A shaman performed a ritual to exorcise any evil spirits that might be causing Willy's fear. The wise old wizards and witches told Willy he simply needed to believe in himself and begin practicing magic little by little. But none of their remedies worked. Willy became more and more depressed. It seemed he would be the wizard who was afraid of magic forever. Willy continued his search for a cure, until finally he met an ancient, white-haired wizard named Merlin who lived alone deep in a mystical forest. Merlin welcomed Willy into his little cottage. As Willy described his lifetime struggle with magical anxiety, Merlin listened thoughtfully. Finally, Merlin said, "Willy, magic comes from within. Its power can only be unlocked when you face your fears and gain confidence in yourself. You still can become the great wizard you were meant to be." Merlin brought Willy to a quiet, beautiful grove deep in the forest. He told Willy this place would help him connect with the magic inside himself. Merlin instructed Willy to sit quietly with his wand and practice feeling the magic flowing from his heart, down his arm, and through the wand. If he felt afraid, he should not try to force himself, just gently return to the feeling of magic's warm glow inside him. Willy sat in the grove every day for a month, patiently focused on overcoming his magical anxiety. After a few weeks, he began to feel more confident and started practicing some simple spells. As the days passed, he advanced to more complex magic, and soon Willy realized he no longer felt any fear. The key had been believing in himself and not rushing or forcing himself before he was ready. When Willy returned to his village, everyone was amazed at the transformation in the wizard who used to be afraid of magic. Willy's hands no longer shook, and he performed spells more beautiful and powerful than anyone could have imagined. He went on to become one of the wisest and most talented wizards in the land, and taught many young wizards and witches how to use magic confidently and joyfully. Willy was never afraid of magic again, because he knew the power came from within himself. He had to believe in it first before the magic could flow freely from his heart through the wand.